When it comes to doing research, there is no single way to do it. The approach you choose often depends on the kind of questions you ask and the outcomes you hope to achieve. So, some researchers explore the subjective experiences of individuals and they use things like interviews, observations, or narratives. These researchers lean more towards the qualitative paradigm of research, which focuses on understanding the depth and complexity of human experiences through rich non-numerical data. On the other hand, quantitative researchers are more interested in the quantifiable aspects of phenomena and they focus on measurable variables that can be analyzed with statistical tools. These researchers use methods like surveys, experiments, and statistical and data modeling to test hypotheses, identify patterns and trends, and make generalizations about larger populations. Other researchers use a mixture of both quantitative and qualitative methods, combining the strengths of both approaches to gain a more comprehensive understanding of their research questions. This mixed methods approach allows researchers to explore the depth of human experiences while also leveraging numerical data to identify patterns and test hypotheses. However, my focus today is on quantitative research. So let's start with the definition. What is quantitative research? Let's start with this hypothetical scenario. Imagine a teacher is curious about learning how technology impacts their students' academic performance. So they wonder, do students who use educational apps perform better in math compared to those who don't? To answer this, the teacher gathers data from different sources, including test scores, logs the number of hours spent on apps, and runs statistical analysis to identify trends and patterns. This approach, meaning the systematic collection and analysis of numerical data, is at the heart of qualitative research. It's like being a detective, piecing together evidence to solve a puzzle and answer critical questions. You might be curious about how experts define or describe quantitative research in their own words. To get a clearer picture of what quantitative research is all about, I'm going to share with you this collection of definitions from key and established scholars in the field. Let's begin with the renowned scholar John Creswell, whose works have shaped the way we understand research methodology. In fact, his insights have significantly contributed to the field of research methodology. If you are a graduate student or a novice researcher, I can't recommend this book enough. It's one of the must-have resources that you want to keep at your arm's reach at all times. Here is how Creswell defines quantitative research. You can stop the video to go through the definition. I believe Creswell's definition captures the essence of quantitative research. It's all about being structured and systematic. He points out that the focus is on testing theories using measurable variables and analyzing the data with statistical tools. He also emphasizes the importance of controlling for bias and making sure the results can be generalized and replicated. It's like he's reminding us that quantitative research and good research in general is not about the numbers. It's about making those numbers reliable and meaningful. The second definition is from Punch, who contrasts qualitative research with quantitative research. He states that quantitative research represents empirical research where the data are in the form of numbers, and qualitative research for him represents an empirical research where the data are not in the form of numbers. Punch definition breaks it down simply. Quantitative research deals with numbers, and qualitative research deals with things like words, images, and behaviors. I think this definition is reductionist, to say the least, but it's a straightforward way to explain quantitative research, especially to those who are just starting out. So basically, from Punch definition, we understand that if your research is just about measuring and analyzing something statistically, you're in the quantitative zone. But if you're exploring more deeper meanings or experiences, then you're in a qualitative territory. It's all about what kind of question you're trying to answer. The third definition is from Patricia, who defines quantitative research as Levy's description of quantitative research really gets to the point. She talks about how it's all about precision, structure, and staying objective, things that are super important when you're working with numbers and data. I also like how she describes it as a top-down process, which makes sense because quantitative research starts with theories and works to test and build on them. Notice also how Patricia ties quantitative research to explanatory research, which is all about figuring out cause and effect relationships and trends. The fourth and last definition is from Kothari, who defines quantitative research as you can see from this lengthy definition, Kothari covers a lot of ground here. He talks about three important approaches: inferential, experimental, and simulation, and each one has its own purpose. I especially like how he explains the inferential approach, where you study a sample and use it to make guesses about a bigger group, like for instance surveys. The experimental part is all about controlling variables to see what happens. And the last one, which is the simulation approach, feels like running a mini experiment in a controlled environment. Kothari's definition is a great way to show how flexible yet powerful quantitative research can be. Based on these key definitions, we can see that quantitative research shares some key characteristics. First, it's systematic and structured, focusing on testing theories and analyzing data in numerical form. Second, things like objectivity, control, and precision are central to the quantitative research process. Third, quantitative research relies heavily on measurable variables and statistical tools to uncover patterns, test hypotheses, and explore cause and effect relationships. Fourth, quantitative research, as Patricia describes it, is a top-down approach which often starts with established theories and works its way down to refine them through data-driven evidence. In short, quantitative research is all about using numbers to make sense of the world and answer meaningful questions. I hope that those of you who are new to quantitative research, that you at least have an initial idea of what quantitative research is all about. I've also attached a number of references and resources to help you explore more what quantitative research is all about and how you can use it in your own research. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.